You guys will note that was the wrong introduction. I don't know why. I had pressed the correct buttons, but whatever the case may be. It is actually a ZVP, not a TVT, and the map is Frost. Spotting here at the top left corner of the map, it is from Shot. Oh, what's it? Yeah, I forgot this clan name. Shot Esports. There we go. The Blue Protoss, Gosudark.
The bottom left, as the red Zerg, it is JimRising.
Of course, coming from Chaos Latin Gamers. No, I remember the Shot one gave us a little bit of trouble during the qualifiers too, because we weren't sure if it was like Shot Gaming or Shot Esports, but going off their decal there, or decal. Hopefully we got it right. Now we talked a little bit about Jim before this got started, but we haven't really talked a lot about Gosudark. And the one thing that I did find interesting when we cast him in the qualifiers was he didn't do anything crazy outrageous. We didn't see a lot of cheese out of him. He actually played some pretty solid games.
Was he on Gosu at one point, or is his name literally just Gosudark?
I think his name is probably literally just Gosudark.
Could have Googled it.
There's another player named Darkness, so that would be like super confusing too if it was like Dark versus Darkness. Where's the light?
I suppose. I remember Team Gosu, and then what was it afterwards? For not Gosu or something?
Yeah, they
Gosu?
like merged, and then like didn't that? They're the ones that then took over Quantic before. Oh yeah, let's not talk about that actually. The kind of like dark conversation you realize you're getting into, and you're like, oh
dark
wait,
conversation.
a Gosudark conversation. This is where I need the Hades. I need to like bring out the Hades GIF for the stream. Oh man, you got me doing it. GIF is what I meant to say. I'm sorry everybody who just heard that. Oh, I feel embarrassed. Anyways, Gosudark gets an alright scout. See no early gases, but did see the pool coming out first, so gonna have to be a little bit wary of that. If he is gonna go for cannons, it's probably gonna be shut down. And of course, we know he's not going for cannons, but JimRising always gotta be a little bit worried about that probe.
Yeah, and he does put it back there. Not just in case JimRising is faked out, but also just so it won't get scouted, so it can go back in and scout later. It's something that Josh always does in like TVP, for instance. He'll always have an SCV off to the side, kind of hiding away, knows the stalker leaves, and then sends the SCV in. A little bit same here, except it was completely mistimed, as the Lings are literally coming down the ramp rather than leaving the base, so he doesn't get any scouting.
No, sadly not, but of course if he had waited too much longer, the Lings probably would have searched around and found him anyway, so either way, Gosudark can run home with this probe. We'll see if he gets there safe. There is no SimCity at the top of the ramp. There is no forward SimCity being made right now, and of course no Nexus being thrown down, so Jim does, of course, have to be a little bit worried about how much is going to come out of this gateway. There's not a lot of times we see one base play, but it's worth noting Gosudark did start chronoing out that Cybercore, and I'm really curious just how many he's going to lay into that. Of course, 4 gates are still a possibility, however unlikely.
Yeah. Sometimes you see it on All Through Zine because it is just that big that it'd be that much of a surprise.
Okay, there we go. I was saying he's chronoing that thing out and not going for that Nexus, but I'm so glad he slapped that down because I don't think you beat Jim with the 4 gates, honestly.
Well, you don't beat many people to 4 gate. Like seriously, you know, even if you don't scout it, people have just gotten so much better that a 4 gate's no longer. Yeah, back in the day, I mean, a 4 gate, especially before the gateway nerf, the warp gate nerf rather, but like, you know, if you didn't scout it and you didn't prepare absolutely perfectly, it was like trying to deal with a Sentry Immortal, and it was really, really difficult. But now we see like Nesty going for 3 hatch and still defending a 4 gate.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is the usage of Queens has become significantly different than the early days of Wings of Liberty. Not just the range bonus, but having more Queens actively available. You know, it used to be like barely 1 per hatchery. Now you actively have creep spreading Queens like we see out of Jim right now. It's weird actually to consider too, like, because you remember how standard it was to have like 2 queens and never really a 3rd, and God forbid a 4th.
Yeah, no, I do remember that one. And then Spanishiba was just building a ton of them and showing that they were very, very useful.
I mean, that's a blast from the past right there. Where's that guy been?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he was always in like school, and he's getting his degree and whatnot. But Gosudark, you know, he's not going for a 4 gate. He is going for a 3 gate that is coming at a fairly fast time. I mean, 6:30 minutes when you see a normal 4 gate. So tries to go the pylon. Not gonna happen. The second one's coming down.
Jim definitely caught a little bit off guard by this. One of the drones a little bit preemptively. Just trying to buy time for the spine crawler. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to buy 10 for the spine crawler. One had to be immediately canceled and rebuilt, and that was some really good micro right there. The other one looks like it will complete, and as long as he can make sure it's not focused down, which it just was, he should be okay.
He's got a couple transfuses though, so this could get
Does he have
resolved.
1, 2? Okay. Yeah, just like a single spine crawler and any amount of slings that you can get, or
but
you know.
Second transfuse. He's not using any of the links to buffer for this though. The whole point of the spine crawler is not defensively for like HP. It's like what's for damage. And that's where you want to throw your links into this. But the second one spawns. No more transfuse energy available. Now, granted, there's no blinks, so these links can actually get some decent connects. But those zealots are gonna be so difficult to deal with.
This is so interesting. I mean, we see 3-gate attacks all the time, but a much later time. This is literally, he got a Nexus, but it was almost like a for show Nexus. It's not really mining. It has like 2 extra probes. This is almost like a 4-gate, where if this doesn't work, if this doesn't kill the base, then Gosudark is in a really big trouble. And speed's out the finish too, so the counterattack is going to be immediate before he can throw up a wall.
He's done a lot of damage with this too. Let's not forget, not only did he force out a lot of drones who pulled off the mineral line, he's killed about 3, but also JimRising hasn't been able to make any. So while his own Nexus might not be doing a lot, JimRising's not exactly droning in the background either. In fact, losing drones to make more spine crawlers.
I don't think it really matters though. Like the supply is even so far, but with the spine crawlers, eventually he'll have so many lings that he will literally swamp Gosudark's army.
But there's no transfuses either at the same time. The queens are dying. Like, you're not going to have a lot of larvae to work with. There's not going to be that instant, like, 18 Zerglings coming across the map.
The queens, yeah, you're right. The queens had died. He's building more, though. So he's realizing that injects are going to be a problem because he's only working off of lings, which are very larva intense.
To the main. Jim getting a little bit desperate here. This is so hard. Like, he's only got 3 stalkers left. He's actually killing one of his own stalkers. Whoa, that's actually a huge misclick.
It's a spine crawler again.
Still
2 queens, just barely. That one does go down. Another spine crawler does finish.
He did manage to find some breathing room to go for an injector too. The problem is, while he has got a lot of minerals, still not able to use them all efficiently. Still not able to use them all effectively. He is starting to beat this back though. Down to 3 stalkers and a zealot is not the scariest force in the universe. And Gosudark not making probes behind this. Well, now starting to make probes behind this, but no tech, no upgrades, no forge, no nothing. This was very dedicated.
It was. Well, JimRising has certainly taken damage, and in fact, you know, between drone kill here and there and building all the spine crawlers, he's actually down to 21, where originally I think he was at 32. That's actually a lot down. The queen also goes down. The lings are just coming out, like, so
there's
slowly.
That inject. Well, that inject finally pays off, so we got a big bunch of them. They're coming in 2 at a time for the most part. And finally, for the first time, Jim gets a little bit of the breathing room. Of course, now he's going to stock up with those lings, go for a counterattack. One of the big things, though, for Gosudark... Ooh, that's interesting.
Sentries were a weird choice. I thought he was building those back at home so he could defend his ramp.
Right, I was gonna say there's no real wall off. There's no cannons behind this. He will have an overcharge. The mothership core has been sitting at home the whole time, but
this is a bad idea.
Yeah, continuing to warp in right now doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, he's buying himself a little bit of time, so I guess maybe that's kind of worth it because he didn't have the wall, but.
Those 2 sentries just
a lot of gas.
They're a complete waste, really. I mean, I guess they killed some lings because they're hidden by the force fields, but seriously, not that big of a deal. But now we have JimRising, who, you know, he did take some damage. Of course, he lost a lot of mining because so many workers were, turned into spine crawlers. But he has a standing army that's going to last for a very long time. He's going to have map control, obviously. You can't break through this. I don't know why he's trying.
Yeah, I was going to say, Gosudark should be able to hold this. For Jim, right now, I think his best bet would be to take a 3rd. There's no way there's going to be a follow-up anytime soon. He sees the robo only just finishing up. He knows he's got at least 2.5 to 3 minutes before there'll be any sort of, like, immortal sentry attack. A big part of this, too, is though he's baiting a lot of energy on these few sentries that are out. Getting a force field here and there, this could be the difference of an attack killing him or not.
Looks like JimRising. We know him, honestly, as playing a little funky, but generally when it's him, it's mutas. Like faster mutas than we're normally used to, and he is getting a fast lair. Now it's 12-50 minutes, but like
compared to what's been going on, yeah.
Yeah, compared to what's going on. Like imagine that the game has been like backed up by like 6 minutes, something like that, and so that's actually kind of a fast lair. It looks like he might be trying to go for double upgrades into mutas. I don't know how well it's going to work against an immortal sentry all in.
I think
1 warping of stalkers can usually deal with the initial wave of mutas.
I think contextually, though, you can call it fast as well because he doesn't have high drone count behind this either. Sitting in 38 drones right now, definitely not a comfort zone for JimRising.
Yeah. He didn't really push back that 3-gate as fast as maybe he should have, you know?
Yeah, I think he thought those spines were going to complete a lot sooner than they did. I mean, that started off without panic, but quickly turned into panic.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on with the camera? I do not like this interface.
I don't know. JimRising is getting a roach warren, so he's not completely depending on those lings, which is good because, you know, after the sentries are warped in, they're going to be mostly using zealots.
Well, I don't know. He's intentionally gone for the +1 weapon upgrades for melee, and he does like to use lings. So while he'll have the option of roaches, I do think the focus of his army is probably still going to remain around the zerglings.
It's a hard balance to do because these roaches are pretty much just for emergencies. You know, if he has that extra bit of money and the zealots are wrecking his lings, then he goes for the roaches. But yeah, he's not gonna dedicate to them. And lings can certainly still do a lot against a mortal sentry and of course they're really good at surrounding, forcing out force field. They can get on top of the immortals. The immortals don't really cut them down that fast. But if they mate with the zealots, then they obviously get chopped to bits.
You know, actually, that's a good point. You talk about the zealots being strong here. Well,
He got through.
Yeah, magic. But he's
Yeah,
gonna have his ground carapace for the defense, so zealots aren't going to be able to do that sweet 3-shot, 2-shot action.
This is huge.
Well, he's actually killing all the probes. What's going on
yeah,
here?
he killed all of the probes. He's gonna kill some sentries that were warped in. Like, he thought that was a wall-off pylon, I suppose, and it really wasn't. Oh, that spire is in the worst location. What the hell?
Oh, so let's look at that weird color bug, too.
Okay, 10 are on the way. Well, see, what's important about this is that I think now with the probe killings, and he's still killing more he's not going to have enough money to warp in these 7 stalkers, which is usually an emergency reaction to seeing mutas on the way.
Well,
he's going to be able to warp in like 2.
That probe was right to the front line, perhaps a little mistakenly, to the spine collar, so there's no pylon anywhere nearby. There's not going to be warp-ins, period.
Dude, I don't think he has enough. With lings, a drone pool, and the mutas, I think JimRising takes this.
I think he should too, but these stalkers could change it. If he focuses on the wrong units, they are shooting the immortals right now. Now it's starting to change their target up. Mothership Core might not be a bad choice either, prevent a recall, but drones are going down. He's put a lot into this. He knows this is dedication, and looks like, yeah, he will just barely pull through here.
It was an odd time warp. Didn't really seem to help out a whole lot, but
well,
yeah, he cleans up the army.
It was his Mothership Core dying, like, you know, use this or not.
I was like really paying attention. I think he should just recalled, but
I agree, 100%. But that didn't happen. We got the warp prism trying to warp in some reinforcements. These are just destined to die. Curiously enough, both players do have similar worker counts because Jim did pull drones to hold that. But I think Jim comes out a much stronger position, and a lot of this just goes in the fact that he didn't lose too many mutalisks in that engagement. He cleans up the zealots to be able to go for some harass, and unless Gosudark's willing to put down 19 cannons, I don't see him stopping these mutalisks.
Yeah. Even with just 10, because Gosudark has no mining, these 10 can kill him. You know, usually it'd be maybe it equalizes because the spire was torn down, so you can deal a 10 mutalisk, just barely, but you can. But not in this case. Gosudark is just it's gonna lose.
Sweet and simple. GG. Game number 1. Gonna go to JimRising.
Be right back.
Cool. I'm hoping I can get my map intros to work here, guys. Let me test something real quick. No, it's still not working. Let me try something different here. Otherwise, we won't have access to map intros tonight, which would be super unfortunate. Game number 1, though, of course, going to the favor of Jim. Really well handled, really well played. Good reaction to a very scary situation. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter how good of a player you are. When you're kind of down in work because you're down in spine crawlers and you've got no lings and queens to work with, it's very scary. So let's see if I can get this map interest to work here, guys. Sorry, one sec. I have to do this whole, like, command prompt list. Users, me. Copa America, why you not want to work with me here? It's just matchups, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, that should be working this time. I guess I just wasn't running it as administrator before, for whatever reason. So hopefully that will resolve the problems here. Let's see what the next map is going to be. Overgrowth, I think. I think and I hope. Oh, if you came back, OBS hasn't registered this. Why is it making your camera frozen?
I am back.
Yeah, I can see you, but OBS it still shows your chair. Just
Oh.
being empty, so I'm trying to figure out how to resolve this. Oh, there we go, that fixed it. There you go. Alright, cool. Nailed it. Alright, game number 2 going down on Overgrowth here. JimRising currently up 1 at the moment. We'll see if you can clench this out, or if Gosudark will have a way to get back into this. Because I know there's a lot of StarCraft that's been going on these last few days, and this has not been the most ideal timings for Copa America to get taken down, but of course these are the group stages, and we'll have plenty of really, really good matches to follow suit next week with the qualifiers, and or not the qualifiers, the round of 8 and such, so I do hope you guys will make sure to come back in. But for those of you who are cool enough to tune in today, we've got about 150-ish people lurking about on stream right now. Thanks for joining us today for Copa America. And I was thinking, you know, we need someone to take like a mock-up. Get like Copa America going. That could be like Nathanius' next big thing. Copa America, just invite like JimRising and Cats to like a show match. No, screw it, that's my idea now. I need to like
And
I need to get on this like right now. Take the people who like win Copa America and run with it.
we also got to program Fruit Ninja with force fields.
Yeah, I know, we got a lot of good ideas, but no way to act on any of them. QQ. Actually, I still gotta I'm gonna, as soon as Homestrike Cup's wrapped up, I'm really happy because White Raw said I'd get back to me, but doing a show match with Hendrils sometime, so got that to look forward to. Sorry guys, we're muttering about things unrelated to Copa America right now, just as we wait for the lobby to set up. Of course, for those who don't know us, Zombie Gum and I come from a little channel, corner of the internet, called Base Trade TV. And we like to run our own events over there too, like show matches and small events and such.
Pretty big deal.
Oh, totally. Yeah, we're huge in Japan.
Yes.
Anyways, just waiting on Overgrowth. Looks like everyone is in here. Yep. You guys can hear the beeps. That means the countdown has begun. I'll see you guys in a few minutes, or a few seconds rather, on Overgrowth. It feels good to have the correct intros rocking this cast. Welcome back to Copa America, ladies and gentlemen. This is Group C, and this is one of the first matches of the day. And this this first best of 3, I should say, in game number 2. JimRising, of course, currently leads 1-0 over Gosudark, but spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map, the red Perotas from Shoddy Sports, Gosudark.
In the upper right, as the blue Zerg, it is JimRising.
Alright, so right off the bat, we see Gosudark doing a little bit different something on the side here. He has put the pilot on the low ground, and this can lead towards cannons, potentially and possibly. With the path that the probe's taking, I wonder if he's going to hide it up here? No, okay, he's just going to scout with it. So, I think one of the things is he's going to duck it with a scout. If he sees no spawning pool first, he might go for the forge. Otherwise, he might just probe to 17 and take the Nexus at that sort of standard greedy timing.
Mm-hmm. It is going to be a pool first. So,
the ballsiest of ballsy will still cannon rush this, but we'll see if Gosudark is going to play smart or ballsy.
Yeah, I don't think he will. He's already past that point where a forward would be put down in time to even like get a good cannon rush off.
Yeah, and
So
you're down one. I mean, there are situations where some of the most expert cannon rushers can just straight up win games, regardless of what the series is. Of course, heavy reference to Stardust. Watching him win a whole go for StarCraft, only cannon rushing made me feel sick to my stomach.
mm.
But Gosudark just doesn't strike me as that sort of player.
We didn't really know a whole lot about Gosudark, but we saw in the last game that he definitely is also a little weird. I mean, it's not the weirdest thing we've ever seen from a Protoss player. They have a whole bag of tricks, really, so it's hard to find a weird Protoss player. But, you know, that really fast 3-gate was certainly something that we don't see a whole lot. It wasn't quite a 4-gate on one base, but it was almost like it, honestly. And I wonder if he's going to be able to pull out more like that, or maybe, you know, because it's Overgrowth and it's game number 2, he's going to pull out maybe like the Immortal Sentry all in, because that's really popular on this map.
It's not just popular on this map, but I mean, it's like a standard kind of go-to for a lot of Protoss players. When you're not quite sure what your opponent's going to do, the strength of it, of course, is the timing at which it hits. And if Gosudark just does it for the sake of doing it and doesn't time it out well, he could be in a bit of trouble. But it's worth noting, guys, with those 3 gates last game, he had a pretty nice, really early timing. And I kind of imagine if he was going Sentry Immortal, he'd be able to hit that timing pretty nicely once again.
Well, the Overlords of JimRising are getting in a position to go ahead and scout. Of course, he scouted the front and knew that it was a Forge Fast Expand and a Nexus, so definitely not going to be that 3-gate thing again. But he's going to be able to want to suicide the other Overlord in around 7 minutes, see what's going on.
Sometimes you can do that a little bit earlier, of course. Protoss players, alike Terrans, don't have a lot of anti-air early on. Don't really rush out that Stalker, but instead a Sentry a lot of the time. And while Sentry can kill an Overlord, it's not exactly something that kills it very fast either.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, playing Protoss versus Zerg is very unnerving. I feel like I just constantly don't have any information and no units, because, you know, while Zerg is droning, they don't necessarily have units either. Very quickly they can make units, but as a Protoss, like, I'm making, like, tech and buildings. And that's what I got. And if that's not enough, then oh my god, no.
See, I don't have the same problem, because when I play Protoss versus Zerg, I just proxy gate all day, every day.
Oh my god. You're
Actually, all jokes aside, Lucky did this one build a long time ago, and it's not in any means the most efficient build, but it's one I've had a lot of fun playing with. Where, like, you proxy one gate to block the natural. And yeah, you make some zealots from it, whatever, apply a little pressure at the ramp. But you, like, rush at the expansion and go Void Rays behind it. Oh my god, it's so dirty and so disgusting and delicious all at the same time.
No. At the beginning of any expansion, Wings of Liberty or Heart of the Swarm, Protoss always has, like, the craziest shit. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, I think I'm really looking forward to see if that changes during Legacy of the Void or not.
Oh no, it's gonna be like double. They're gonna have like Void Rays that not only have the overcharge ability, but also like, oh hey, wait a minute.
They'll have Phoenixes like that built into them.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. Thank you for completing that idea, but it's a Nidus Worm. It's a Nidus Worm at 630 with Lings.
Okay, so this is kind of cool. I mean, up here in the top left, Gosudark has no vision of his base at all.
Seriously has no vision. And even if it was a Nidus Worm,
you know what though? Hang on, he's got no vision intentionally. A lot of the times you'll have a pylon up here because you're trying to spread your buildings around. You don't want it all scouted in one go. But he's trying to hide his 6 gateways right now.
Yeah.
And because of this, he's going to get caught off guard. Now, he'll have a lot of warping potential, but not before this Nidus Worm hits. And for Jim, we're talking about timings. This is about as nice as it gets.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if this really was very effective on this map because of the Mortal Sentry All-In being so popular. I mean, you really don't put down your gateways until you can put them all down at once, which really delays them, honestly. If you're putting them down, like, you know, one at a time, well, at least you have some production. He's starting to warp them in now. The Lings really haven't started doing a whole lot of damage, but wrapping around the Nexus. Probably going to take it down before things happen.
And you know, there's actually not going to be any detection out with no robo down, and this was just like 7 gates damage.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way to clean up these creep tumors. He gets the Nexus.
Leaves. Look at this. That's so BM.
Okay, so guys, what he basically traded out is 100 minerals, 100 gas for this Nidus Worm. That's about it. He got a Nexus for it. Now he's gonna go slamming through the front of the base, which might not work, but oh no, for some reason Gosudark's pushing out. He's supply blocked after losing that Nexus as well, so he can't warp anything offensively at the moment. This is about as just awkward as it gets for a Protoss player.
Yeah, this is super awkward, and both pylons were found out, so he can't even, you know, he couldn't warp in to defend them to begin with, and now he's gonna be extra supply blocked.
Yeah. Oh,
this is kind of game over already. Like
I
he
would
has
say so,
nothing to fall
yeah.
back on. That was literally his plan, is to have nothing to fall back on, but a really big army. But now he has no big army, no economy, and also no tech to fall back on. There's just nothing going right for him right now.
Oh, yeah, these ones gonna get another pile. I can't remember the last time I've seen a Protoss player so heavily supply blocked, but Jim getting it done. Now he did lose that creep term in the main, so he can't fully block. Actually, oh my god, I think that
I
blocks
think
the
it
Nexus by
does. It
one.
does. It
Oh my
does.
god, I hate
That's
Zerg
annoying.
sometimes.
That's so annoying. But this is such a cool idea. Now he didn't go for the Immortal Sentry all in, but like any all in, honestly, off of 2 base, and that hits at what seemingly seems like a perfect time, right before their gateways are finishing. It's just like, you know, what would they have that would kill enough links quick
Oh,
enough that they could kill the Nexus first?
it doesn't really matter to get through the wall once again. Quick GG. Game number 2,
Damn.
2-0. You know what? I gotta give him credit though. He won it in an exciting, different manner than most people would have done otherwise. So, quick game out of JimRising there. That'll send him to the winners match here in the group stage, where one of either him or his opponent will get through Group C. Of course, I believe we're still waiting on the results from the other series. I don't think it wrapped up as quickly as this one did.